Hello and welcome once again to the Dragon Cast, the show podcast thing where I talk about Dragon Ball with somebody else and we get really controversial and we would probably get everybody really pissed off except nobody actually watches it, so never mind. Anyway, yeah, you guys know the Dragon Cast is a thing that I do and it's actually still going, kind of, sort of. Technically, the reason why it's been taking such a big break is it's been my fault because scheduling has been weird and everything. And even now, I'm not 100%. You might notice I sound a bit weird. It's because I got a little bit of a cold still, some kind of virus or whatever. Anyway, but everything's fine. We're doing another Dragon Cast.
But you're being a real trooper about it, and you're here still recording, so that's what matters.
Exactly. It's what they call suffering for your art. Anyway, for those of you who also don't know, this is Halcyon. I mean, I'm assuming everybody, if you've gotten this far into the Dragon Cast, you know, hey, it's the thing that we do. Halcyon's another person who makes videos about Dragon Ball sometimes, and other things sometimes. So, you know, we talk about Dragon Ball together, and let's do it. So, Dragon Cast.
Yes. Let's see. We watched episodes, was it 49, 50, 51, and 52, I think, is what we did this week.
That sounds about right. And yes, so where we are still in the Red Ribbon Army. And it's like, you know, I know this might sound kind of strange, but it almost feels like appropriate that we just got like stuck during the Red Ribbon Army, because I feel like when everybody watches Dragon Ball, especially the anime, like that's the point where they're just like, episodes start becoming kind of slugs to get through when you just kind of lose your enthusiasm, because it's like not to like say the Red Ribbon Army is bad, but I feel like the anime especially at this point, like the Pirate Cave stuff, I feel like this is the point where like the pacing, it just starts to get a little bit tiring.
See, that's interesting you say that, because like I had like a great time watching all these episodes, and I had a lot of fun. So this will be interesting, where you get to talk about how it's like a slog, and I'll be like, but like this cool thing happened, and yeah, like I honestly like this is kind of like one of the things I love about Dragon Ball, which is like, you know, just the adventure. Like, you know, they're on the adventure, and then like this wacky shit happens, and yeah, it's like, so I actually dug a lot of stuff that happened. I will say, in the first of these episodes, oh my god. Okay, so the first episode of this batch that we watched, episode 49.
49? Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Man, it is front loaded with some filler. And I don't mind filler all that much, but just, oh man, cuz like it starts off with Red talking to Black about like the Dragon Radar and being like, "Oh, they have a better Dragon Ball radar than ours. Fucking execute the guy who made our radar, fuck him." And, like, that's an alright scene. But then we go to, like, the Muten Roshi, and he's just like, I'm gonna do perverted things with the Shrinky watch. And I'm like, oh my god, we're doing this again.
Third time, right? Even if you count the filler, it's been like the third time.
Yeah.
He's like, let's do it. Let's use the gag again, even though it only happened once in the manga, and it was probably only there for like the one gag.
Yeah, no, so it's just, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, yeah, the Muten Roshi would probably just keep, you know, like, he wouldn't let failure stop him, I don't think, but I don't need to see him constantly try to take advantage of women.
Not to mention, it just kind of makes him feel dumb. It's just like, you know, this hasn't worked like the last two times, what makes you think it's going to work again?
Well, see, this time, like, you know, like, he even has, like, a line, though, in this, where he's just like, okay, I gotta be smarter, I keep screwing this up, like, yeah, I'm gonna screw this up again if I get too excited, you know, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, god damn it. So, yeah, we get through that, and then, like, Lunch is all like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm still cooking, so I can't take a bath right now, but thank you anyhow, and, because he had, like, drawn her up a bath, you know, being nice. And then he goes to like, he's like, here, I'll take care of the cooking. He starts throwing spices around, and of course, Lunch sneezes. And this filler I don't mind so much because it goes on too long, but it's like the one time where we actually get to see someone deal with and try to talk to and reason with, like, evil Lunch.
Yeah, it is interesting, yeah, because it's like, she stays evil Lunch for quite a while instead of just like immediately turning back into good Lunch. And I think, because honestly, like, it's almost like even Toriyama wasn't really sure what you do with her if she's just sitting around as like this criminal, if she's not shooting you. because like obviously like she's gonna like stop shooting you eventually, right? And so it's just kind of like you assume that Toriyama just kind of doesn't really have any answer, so he just kind of
something that I did like though is that like like I said, like you had the Muten Roshi trying to reason with her. Also, Evil Lunch like acknowledges that she recognizes the Muten Roshi, that she's seen him before, she's seen him around. Why are you always around me? What's the deal with you? And like he makes up some bullshit story instead of just saying like, oh well, you live here. And like, cause it seems like Evil Lunch doesn't seem to know about the split personality thing, where Good Lunch does know. So that's kind of weird.
Lunch is weird. Her character makes no sense.
No,
it's not very well thought through.
Like it sucks too because like I used to really like Lunch as a character, but like going through and like for this rewatch, I'm like, man, why did I like this character? Like, why? Like, because I feel like she's kind of like a fan favorite. Like, I think I like her design. She has like a really great design. She's kind of cute and bubbly when she's Good Lunch, but she's also like dumb as a box of rocks. And then Evil Lunch is just so one note that I'm just like, oh my god, this character is actually terrible. So yeah, like it was nice, like that we had a little bit of filler where it's just like the Muten Roshi, trying to reason with her and stuff, and like actually like conversing with her, because we've never seen anyone really try to converse with Evil Lunch before. So yeah, that was kind of neat. And I did like Turtle just kind of like leans in through the window and like tickles her nose with like a leaf and like gets her to sneeze, because that's going to be referenced in the manga material.
Yeah, because that was like, so it's almost like this filler scene was like them kind of almost like trying to foreshadow the idea that you do, that the little like, it's not even a twist, it's a little plot point that comes up later on when the Red Ribbon Army then show up on Roshi's Island being like, give us the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, it's just like, we know you're a scientist. And he's just like, no, I'm not.
A scientist?
it's like we know that you invented the radar and this is a secret base. It's like, it is? What? Like, he's just like, we're the Red Ribbon Army. And he's just like, oh yeah, I know about you guys. You guys are like evil assholes. and then like, they go to like, start shit with the Muten Roshi, and then the Muten Roshi just whips their asses, like all of them.
It's like such a kind of almost like that kind of like martial arts filmy sort of thing, and it's just, especially it's like it's the like the old man guy, and then he just gets confronted by the goons or whatever, and he's just like, I mean like the quote was sort of like well, so what happens if I defy you? Like, then you die. He's like, oh, I guess I'll defy you then. And then he just beats up everyone. It's like,
yeah, no, it was great.
It's like it's one of those things. Like it's just kind of, it feels almost like cathartic. It's like, oh god, there's all these like there's these guys who are jerks and they're picking on this old man, but the old man's like, well, I'm actually a martial arts master, so here you go, I'm gonna go beat you all up.
Yeah, and also like I didn't realize this is the first time in the series that like we see the like multi-hand bullet catch thing. Like,
oh my god, I wrote that on my notes too.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh my god, that's the first time that happened. This is the first time we've seen someone just do like the quick martial arts and catch all the bullets. I'm like, awesome, because I know at very least, I don't know if it's in the series proper, but I do know in like the third Dragon Ball movie, Suru Senin does that. And of course, obviously, Gohan does it, when he's the gold fighter.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the only time I can remember it in the manga, at least. But I'm sure it's happened in other places.
But yeah, I had completely forgotten that the Muten Roshi did the whole like bullet catch thing like that, and then he just drops them in that really cool epic fashion. And also, they gave Fat Boy a whip, like the fat guy in the military. I already forgot his name, which is weird because the anime actually named him, and then I forgot. But yeah, like they gave him a whip as like a gimmick or something, and didn't really go anywhere. But it was just like, okay, they gave him a whip, and he's like trying to whip the Muten Roshi, and then Muten Roshi just whips his ass. But yeah, then they hold Lunch hostage, and then of course then there's that callback thing of, and then Turtle like kind of slinks up and just has that same like tree branch with the leaves on it to tickle Lunch's nose. And I love Lunch's face in this scene because she realizes what Turtle's trying to do, and she like leans forward into it because she gets what the plan is, and like she just has like the best face when that happens, and I just thought it was really cute and endearing. And like one of the few times it actually seemed like good lunch had a brain in her head.
A good lunch actually reacts to anything other than just like passive female thing.
Yeah, like she isn't just like, huh? What's going on? No, like she saw like Turtle was like slinking up with the thing. She knows what happens when she sneezes, so she's just like, oh, okay, yeah. She like leans into it so he can tickle her nose to get her to sneeze. And then of course, evil lunch pops out and then fucks up some guys, and yeah, it was pretty great.
And yeah, because like I think in this case, it's like I think this is a case where like the lunch personality thing actually kind of works, because it's almost like, once again, it's like, oh no, and now they're kidnapping this innocent woman. What are we ever gonna do? These evil people. And then it's just like, well, joke's on you. The innocent woman has another personality when she turns into a violent criminal, and now the violent criminal is going to beat your asses. It's like, once again, it's like it's not just happening for the sake of comedy and happening to characters where like you kind of don't really want them to get shot in the head. But here it's like, it's against the bad guys. It's cool. It's like it feels like an actual narrative and not a gag.
Yeah, definitely. And it was just like, it's probably the best use of Lunch's character like in the series so far, because like, I mean, like early on, like when they had like a couple of gags with her back before Toriyama ran out of his 2 jokes. Like when they put her like in the lingerie and then she sneezes and she like has that freak out moment and starts firing on him. Like that was a cute, fun scene. And then they did that scene like 5 more times, and then like 10 more times in the filler. That's all you can do with Lunch. But yeah, like they actually found like a plot reason to like have Lunch in a scene and to actually like use her weird special ability. I guess you could call it an ability, or like, I don't know, like disability, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, like that's her like martial artist fighter gimmick, except she's not a martial artist fighter. She's just some random person who doesn't actually do anything. So that's probably why it's kind of weird. At the end of the day, she's not actually supposed to do anything. So it's just kind of like, it's.
So yeah, back to like the adventure with Goku and Kuririn and
back
Bulma.
To the A plot.
Yeah, back to the A plot. Like, because oh my god, like I said, because I think like what really makes this episode drag is the fact that it's so front loaded with filler. They didn't like break up the filler at all with like the Goku and like Pirate Cave stuff. No, it was just all this bullshit, and it's just like, oh, for the love of God, just do something else.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like last episode they sort of left it off on a bit of a tense thing. They just got into the cave. You want to see what they're going to be like in the cave, and now it's like, here's some little Muten Roshi gags. You want those, right?
Yeah, so yeah, like they get through, like they're going through the cave. Honestly, like they don't even spend that much time like with like a chase scene. It's like they're in the cave. Oh no, the Red Ribbon Army, and then they kind of like just exit the cave. Like they get they surface and they're like walking around inside the cave system instead of like, because I didn't remember how short that scene was, so it's just like, oh, that was quick and abrupt.
It sort of made sense though, because it was like. It's like when they're suddenly in the cave and Goku's just like immediately just like, wait, why can't we just like beat them up? And then he's like, Goku, they've got guns. And he's like, well, right. Yeah, like we can deal with it. But then it's like at that same moment, like the Red Ribbon Army find out that Goku that the other team was totally defeated by Roshi, and so they're just kind of like, okay, maybe we should we should be careful and not run ahead and stuff.
Right. Yeah. I do love that line though with Goku though, because like they're all running and Goku just stops. It's like, wait, why are we running? Let's just beat them up. like we can just fight them. It's just like, but they have guns. It's just like, just dodge the bullets. Like Goku, oddly enough, being the most pragmatic character in a situation, let's just kick their asses and dodge their bullets. Like we were trained by the Muten Roshi. What the fuck are we doing? But they end up, just because, Blue and them don't chase after them immediately, they end up going deeper into the cave. And they end up in, like, this big pirate cave facility.
Because, everybody knows that pirates have secret cave facilities. But, it's Dragon Ball. The world is weird and wacky. There are talking dinosaurs, and apparently pirates are, like, incredibly technologically advanced.
Yeah. Well, because like at first, like they find like a dead pirate, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's a pirate cave! Yeah, that's awesome!" And they're like, "This is cool!" And yeah, they're like, and that's pretty much like where the episode ends. Oddly enough, yeah,
Pretty much.
because there isn't a whole lot to say about this episode. Because like I said, it's front loaded with filler.
Now that you're mentioning it, like you're saying it like that, like it's surprising how little is actually accomplished. Although it does get through quite a bit of stuff in the manga, but like not much actually is actually accomplished. They just like Roshi beats up some guys. That's essentially all that happens.
Yeah, like the Muten Roshi beats up some guys. There's the lunch gag, and then there's the them going through the caves and Blue finding out that, oh shit, B team got wrecked. That's it. Like I said, like it's like the filler really does just. This is an episode where the filler just dragged the story down like quite a bit. So next episode 50, we get filler again, but it's like Red's like standing there like getting a painting done of himself, and he's moving around a bunch, and like the painter's like, "Hey, stop moving! I'm trying to paint you." And I think they're just they're talking about like stuff that's going on with Blue and Blue being in a pirate cave, and it's just like, well, he better bring back the treasure, blah 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 blah.
Exactly. Just like exposition of stuff that we already know. But
it's just basically like, did you miss last week's episode? Here, have these characters tell you what happened in last week's episode in this filler scene.
Like, yes, but also, so when I was saying that, like, this episode's drag and stuff, I think one reason is why I say the episodes really drag is this is the point, like, where the recaps start getting ridiculously long. Like, I timed it, and, like, they spent literally 2 minutes on just recapping the events of the previous episode and using that footage.
Oh, I know, because I was watching these episodes right before we started recording, because I just finished all 4 episodes, and I was watching it on Hulu, so like just as soon as I jumped to the next episode, I immediately jumped to the 4-minute mark every time, because that's when the actual episode started. That was when the title card.
Does Hulu do that? It skips. It just goes straight to the title card.
No. I literally just like scanned through the time bar, and it had like a little preview image of where it was in the episode. Okay. So So I just went until like I saw the the title card and click, and I'm like, oh, yep, that's where this is where this is picking up from. So yeah. So you have like a minute and a half of theme song, and then you'd have like over 2 minutes of recap.
Yeah,
I don't know why there's so much recap.
So like basically you are like the episode has been airing for around 3.5 minutes out of that like total like 23, 24, whatever it is, until you actually get some new footage. So it's like, God, that just drags, especially because like like other you have other episodes where the recap can take like 20 seconds. Obviously, right. It varies, and obviously this is a conscious choice. They need to slow everything down so they don't overtake the manga. Obviously, like I feel like this is a point where they're like, okay, the gap's getting a bit too close for our liking. Let's slow everything down a bit. But it's just like it's just tiring. It's like I know what happened last episode, and Red and Black. I know what happened last episode. I don't, even though it's interesting that you're going around and talking about this in a unique situation. I don't need to hear this.
Yeah, the one thing I did like though is that like when Red gets the painting of himself, he's like gargantuan, and like Black is drawn to be like the little shrimpy one of the two. I like that gag, and also I think that's like, is that the first time in this story so far that they have acknowledged that like Red has a thing with his height?
No, I don't think so. I mean, in the manga, definitely not. I mean, now I can't remember if they took the thing out of the anime, because I know there was like one point in the anime, like in the manga, when you first meet Red and Black, and then Red is basically like to Black, don't stand so close to me, it makes me look short or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like they actually took that out of the anime, but they might have put something else in the anime. It's like, I swear, all the Red and Black scenes are just blurring together in my head because there's so many of them in the anime. I just don't even remember what I'm supposed to know anymore.
Right, yeah, no, I'm having that same issue, because I feel like you're right, like, in the manga, there was the scene of, like, him being like, don't stand close to me, like, it makes me feel fucking short, and then, in this, like, in the anime, like, I can't I don't I feel like that scene's in the anime, but I can't recall seeing it yet in the anime. So now I'm just confused and I don't remember. So yeah, cause them doing like the painting gag really stood out to me because I'm like, wait, is this the first time we're acknowledging this? Like I don't know. So someone's probably like who is actually really like memorized our podcast is probably being like, guys, you talked about this like 3 podcasts ago, which was like 5 months ago. Like, how do you not remember?
How do we not remember things said 5 months ago? I don't know. I don't remember things I said 2 hours ago, but you know.
Yeah. All this anime is rotting our brains.
Yeah, anime was a mistake.
Quote Miyazaki. So, then we get back to the actual source material, and Goku and Kuririn they run through, or they run to like a trap is what it is. It's like you step on the thing. It's that old trap you see in like every friggin' like adventure serial or whatever, like Indiana Jones type thing. You step on the thing and then like spears come out. It's one of those. And Goku is just like, oh, well, we'll just hop over it. It's just like, what? And Goku just runs, leaps over, and Kuririn's just like, well, fuck it. I mean, if he can do it, I can do it too. So then he goes and leaps, hits his head on the ceiling, which I like that joke. And then he just lands just short and falls backwards and hits his head on one of the triggers and just, like the spears come out at him.
And also, apparently, it's 20 meters. Take that what you will, power scalers.
Right? Yeah.
Goku can jump 20 meters according to this feat. This is a known feat for Goku, guys. We can measure his power level.
Unfortunately, I have inferior American math, so I don't know how far meters are.
Oh shit. I think it's like about 3 feet in a meter. I think.
Okay.
Around about. I could look this up, but I can't be bothered.
Right, yeah. It's irrelevant. I'm sure someone will tell us in the comments anyhow, even if we don't want them to. So, yeah. So then it's just like, Bulma, come across. And she's just like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah. It's like, I can't do that. She's like, what? It's like, what do you mean you can't? It's like, I can't jump that far. I am a normal human girl, not like you crazy people.
Yeah, like I was going through the manga while going through this episode, and I love like in the manga it actually says like I didn't study under some old martial arts master. So then like Goku just kind of extends the Nyoibo and she just like latches onto it and rides it back across the thing.
Okay, also speaking of the Nyoibo, so like beforehand, because the other guys in the Red Ribbon Army are kind of like spying on them, tailing them, and the guy sort of reports back to Blue, and he says like, "Oh, you know, it appears that they're not carrying any weapons." And so then I suddenly realized like, wouldn't the Nyoibo count as a weapon? I mean, doesn't that count?
I mean, like, I think for like the military, like you know, he's not carrying like any like machine guns, grenades.
Yeah. He's just got a stick, essentially.
Yeah, it's just like, this kid's got like a stick. What the hell's he gonna do with that? Like, we have machine guns. So yeah, I can understand him being like, seeing a staff and going, yeah, no, he's unarmed. So yeah, like, you know, speaking of Blue's men, then they make their way to that trap, and all die.
Yeah, okay, this is the weirdest. This was actually the weirdest thing.
It is the weirdest. It's one of the weirdest fucking jokes in Dragon Ball. This is some straight up Dr. Slump shit. This is some Dr. Slump fucking gag shit that just feels totally at odds with the rest of Dragon Ball tonally. Even the goofiest shit in Dragon Ball, this feels at odds with. Goku went to the fucking moon in one of the episodes of Dragon Ball previously, and this feels weird and out of place.
Because, I mean, and especially in the anime, because, well, I mean, for one, it's weird because it's like, everyone gets slaughtered by these spear traps, but it's like, you know, completely sanitized and bloodless. It's just like, the spears are just kind of there, and it's like, they're just kind of like lying unconscious, and it's like, you know, but there's, you know, there's no blood, there's no sort of indication that it's like, you know, really brutal. And then it's like, as Blue goes and surveys what happened and what he accidentally ended up doing by basically telling them all to run without thinking, then the other guy's just like, oh, you know, sir, to report, no survivors. Like, The guy who's supposed to be dead is just like, oh, you know, no survivors, get it? And I'm just like, I thought this was supposed to be a relatively serious story. You can't just be like, have the dead guy give you a status report that everybody's dead. You can't just do that, Toriyama.
Yeah, just reporting no survivors, sir. It's like, I can see that. I'm like, what the fuck? Because, I had vaguely remembered that scene. I just, it's still just, oh my god. Yeah, because, that soldier is supposed to be a dead soldier, but yet he is standing up and reporting that he is not alive to his commanding officer. And it's just, like I said,
it's funny, but it's not the humor that this arc has even been using.
Yeah, no, even if you cut out some of the darker elements that the anime has added, it still feels kind of weird and out of place. Cause it's not sir, they killed us, and then he falls over dead or something.
No, it's he's already he's got a spear on him. He's got a spear in his head.
Yeah, the guy is just still he's just standing there the entire time while Blue's yelling at him, yeah, I can see you're all dead, no shit. And I'm and this guy's just we're all dead. And I'm it's just such a weird scene. It is such a weird scene. It's the weirdest joke in the show so far. So then, Blue was just well, I mean, there's clearly no way through this. The pirates must have another way of getting through, and he finds a little side entrance, and he goes through that way. Then we get some filler, and I don't mind the filler here because I feel it still feels in tone with the rest of the story. It's just there's another trap.
I mean, it's in tone of the rest of the series, but it's at this point of the story, I was literally just gonna say it's really nice that they're not using every single situation to have people perv on Bulma, but then it happens in this filler scene. It's just they're in the lava, and then Bulma needs to hold to Krillin, and it's Krillin's gonna look at her panties, and then Bulma's panties get set on fire, and great, we've had this joke 500 times even in the manga. Do we need another one? Sure.
Yeah, honestly, I liked it just because, one, it's really well animated. This is... Yeah, I actually looked it up because I was just holy... Because, this scene and then the one, pretty much, the whole last end, back... I mean, this whole episode looked fairly good. But, the whole, second half of this episode I thought looked really, really good. And I actually, Yeah, this is, a Maeda-directed episode.
Okay.
And, yeah, and it was... what was it? I had... God damn it. I had it brought up, and of course I misplaced which episode it was, because of course I did. Anyhow, but yeah, I remember it was Ide and Nakatsuru and two other people I didn't know. Oh, here it is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Nakatsuru, Ide, Shimizu, and Aramaki.
Huh.
And cool.
Cool.
I don't know the last two because AJ has not done a full dissection of all the animators of early Dragon Ball.
Yeah, come on, AJ. We only know this stuff because you tell us to, kind of literally. Tell us who the Dragon Ball animators are.
Prior to AJ, I knew Nakatsuru because he was the character designer for GT. I knew Maeda. I knew Masunaga. I knew a couple of the ones that I really, really liked. The ones that I felt were personal standouts for me. Everyone else, not so much. So yeah, AJ, come on, get on it. You are the animation Dragon Ball database, and we need your brain.
And you guys say that we only talk about Lance all the time. We could talk about other people too.
We could totally suck up to AJ too.
That's two people.
There you go.
Them.
But yeah, so yeah, I like the whole lava trap scene because it's just it once again it's just the trap door or the thing with the lava, and it just kind of has that kind of adventure feel. It's just oh no, now there's this trap, and yeah, they have the pervy Bulma scene, but I don't feel it's too explicit. It could have I feel it rides a line between being trashy and just being goofy fun.
I mean, it's not it's not that trashy, but it's at the same time, it's it just feels like that's the only thing they're using Bulma for, and I'm like, just come on.
See, thing is, I would agree with that if it wasn't for what happens next episode. And we'll talk about that in a bit, because that was something I really liked next episode. But yeah, so then after that, like, another filler scene, Blue versus a giant electric eel that he just chokes to death.
Because reasons?
Yeah, no, it's just...
Why
like,
the hell not?
Yeah, just, like, there's another trap, and it's like an electric eel that he gets attacked by. He just chokes it to death, and I'm like, I don't know. That to me was just so dope, because, like, his thing is, like electrocuting him, and he just, like, no, fuck this, and just chokes the thing, and just, whatever, and just goes on, because he's Blue, and he's a badass, and he gives no fucks, and it's super cool. And, so after that, we then get to the actual, like, pirate facility where there's, like, a submarine and buildings and fucking pirate robot.
Yeah, and it's like, you know how it's like, some character designs, you're kind of like, oh, this feels like a filler thing, this feels like a Toriyama thing, but it's like, here, in fact, a lot of the random things that show up here, it's like, you think that this is filler, but it's like, no. The pirate robot is totally a thing that Toriyama put in the manga. That this is the random adversary that they have to face. A pirate robot. Ninja.
Yeah, no, it's
robot,
just,
ninja, pirate, zombie. What else are we going to fight?
Yeah, no, like, I love just how random and goofy some of this shit is, because, like, and now they're just facing a robot pirate. Alright, like, just...
I just... Honestly, sometimes I feel like it kind of loses any sort of, like... It kind of almost gets, like, not inconsistent, but it's almost just, like, a bit sort of ripping off from, like, every genre of every kind of everything, to the point I almost don't really know what the identity of this arc is, because it's just, like, it's a pirate robot, and it's got swords and a machine gun, and, it's got a skull head, and... Alright, sure... Like,
yeah, its head's shaped like a xenomorph skull. That's one of the weird things.
That as well. So it's just kind of like, all right. It's like I'll buy it. I just don't really get it, but I'll buy it at the very least.
Like, I'm starting to realize, like, it's like, I think this is, like, really indicative of our personal tastes, like, things that we find really interesting in Dragon Ball, and, like, because like, stuff like this, like, just when the story is just going off the rails and doing weird shit, like, you are just, like, this is weird and kind of off-putting. And I'm like, yeah, more dumb shit! Do cool things!
That does explain, that would probably explain why you're more partial to the anime than I am, because, like, the anime is just full of let's just do random shit, because why not?
Yeah, no, I love it. Like, just because Dragon Ball's such, like, a weird, goofy show already. So just, when it's just veering off the course, like, whenever a series just goes off the rails, I mean, like in my GT panel, when I was talking about one of the things I like about GT is that GT is just weird as shit. Like, you have, like weird cult that, like, worships a deity that, like, feeds off of people who are turned into dolls, and, like, a weird doll fetishist who works for, like, Dr. Mew, who has, like, a techno-organic robo-army. And it's just... Yeah, like when these shows just kind of go off the rails and do weird shit, like I said, like, because this is like an adventure arc, just keep throwing more weird stuff. And it's only gonna get weirder because after this is Penguin Village.
I mean, okay, see, Penguin Village is its own separate breed of weird, and it's like, it's also a breed of weird that makes far more sense in the manga, in the context of Shonen Jump, than it really does retroactively at all. But, that's like we can talk about that when we get to it. But
right.
One small thing I noticed, like, I thought it was a very nice little fun attention to detail, that, like, basically Bulma basically explains that, like, when she saw the submarine there, she's like, okay, so there's got to be another exit, because, like, back in the old days, they didn't have capsules, so if they have a submarine here, they had to lug that big ass submarine into here through somewhere, so obviously that could be a place that we can get out then. And it's like, it's like, it's just a nice little detail, because it's like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, it's like world building, and it also makes sense. And it's like, it's like you put thought into, like, the kind of specifics and, like, layouts of what this area would be. Like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, no, it's probably like one of the more clever moments Toriyama has, where he's just kind of, yeah, no, like in universe, this totally makes sense. So like this is like, and this is the logic, like the through line of logic that the characters are using now, and yeah, like and it's doing that through world building. So yeah, that was a good scene.
That being said, like, yeah, then we get to the pirate robot fight itself. And this is the part where I started to notice, like, the end of this episode is just like, there is so much reused animation.
There is a lot. Like,
holy crap! It's just like repeating those frames again and again and again and again, and then dodging the robot, and then dodging the robot, and then dodging the robot again.
Yeah, no,
like you can tell like you can tell they're stressed. They're stretched thin. It's like, oh, okay, we're just gonna have to like repeat this for another like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, because like it was weird, because I was just like, because early on, like the very beginning, you have Goku and Kuririn like just duking it out with the robot, and it's a pretty fun fight in the beginning, and then like one of the weirdest shots, like really early in, like right after like you get like a good minute or so of like the robot versus like Goku and Kuririn stuff, you have Blue, who's watching them, and he's just like, oh, like they're martial artists. But then the shot just hangs on Blue for like way too long, and you're just still hearing the dun 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 music and like the sound effects and like like there are actual things going on, like very specific sound effects, and like it made me think my stream had stopped. Like I had to go back and check. I'm like, no, all right, like no, it's working fine. Like it didn't freeze up. It like this is just how long. It's just a really long shot of Blue, while all of the sound, and like I said, very specific sound effects of like like the robot and like the characters clashing and fighting. And I'm like these aren't even like just generic stock sound effects. It felt like like there should have been very specific visuals to go with these sound effects, and I was really confused. And I'm like, oh no, this is an episode where someone was really stretched for time on this, or like on this episode, and like just like how long that shot went. And then and I was thinking this was gonna be a really cheap looking episode, but like all of the unique animation does look really good. There's a lot of fluid scenes. There's a lot of great little animation moments of like Goku dodging and sliding and back and forth, and like characters just doing things. And there's a lot going on, like animation wise. It's just certain things, like when they could get away with just having the robot just slide across the screen, firing his machine gun, and Goku running away, and like the characters running and dodging stuff, and like they definitely got their mileage out of that. But I feel like whenever there was
maybe a bit
stuff,
more mileage than they needed to.
Yeah, no, it was like I would say like it's probably not like the worst reuse of footage I've seen, because I feel like there's like a couple episodes in the Frieza fight that just, oh, now we're gonna do this punching scene again. All right.
I mean, okay, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure in terms of pacing, Frieza, like the late Namek arc is probably some of the worst examples, but doesn't mean that this is any better. It's not like like you can be like, oh, at least it's not the 5 minutes, but it's like that doesn't mean that this is enjoyable to watch after a while.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not excusing it. I'm not going like, oh well, because there's a worse example, this isn't that bad. No, it was still pretty bad. Like it kept me engaged enough, I will say that much. And there are little things that I liked, very specifically like the filler, where like you do have, like they have like the reused animation of Goku running and the robot sliding across like the water shooting at him. But then that leads to like Kuririn and Bulma like manning a cannon and aiming it at it while it's distracted with Goku just firing at it.
Wait, isn't that the next episode?
No, this is well, yeah, this is the third episode. We're already because they don't really fight the pirate robot.
Oh, I mean, I was just really talking about the reused animation in the end of episode 50. Episode 51 has some reused animation, but I think it's it's a bit more unique, I think, and like there's more stuff that actually breaks up the action. I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, hold on. Let me just do because the pirate robot lasts how many episodes?
It starts at episode 50, and then it goes through to like near the end of 51.
Oh, okay. So you were talking about like the reuse animation, like the last couple of minutes of that episode.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I got what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm on the same page.
Sorry, maybe I should be more clear about that, but
Because I remember like the next episode does have reused animation.
Oh yeah, the next episode does as well. And
like, I was kind of confused. I was kind of confused when you were talking about the reused animation because I'm like, I remember. Yeah, I mean they get like some mileage out of it, but like I didn't think it was that bad. That's why I was kind of hesitant to like bash on it. Okay.
But no, actually, although the next episode 51 does have. Once again, there's still so many kinds. There's still much like constraining and still so much like dragging going on here because it's like that time I also decided to work out the whole recap thing again, and once again like it was like at 4 minutes before the title card started, and I'm like holy like it's just getting worse. Like the padding is just getting worse, and there's these repeated frames and. Like they spend an entire episode, almost an entire episode on this pirate robot fight, which like only lasts a few pages in the manga. That being said, like there's a lot of this pirate robot fight that I legitimately do enjoy because like they actually try to basically make it of a fight, like a proper fight where things are actually happening and Goku is moving around and they try different ways of trying to defeat the pirate robot and they fail for whatever reason. Well, it's mostly just because the robot just inexplicably survives it, but it's like, they're making plans and the different characters are doing things and like, the different characters are working together in different ways. You got like Goku and Krillin teaming up and then you have like Krillin and Bulma shooting that cannon at him.
Yeah,
and
which is a pretty cool filler scene, by the way. I like that one.
Yeah,
because it's like Bulma actually being proactive. There's actually 2 scenes of Bulma being proactive, and like that was one of them. And it was really cool to see like Bulma getting her hands dirty for once. Because like in the manga, like you said, like it's a fairly short scene. Like it's just like Krillin and Goku fight it a little bit, then like Goku just kind of like kicks in the water, and then Goku jumps out of the water, and then crushes its head, and then it's over.
It's not even that. It's just also like they fight it for a little bit, and then Goku basically immediately says. Bulma, Krillin, you go on ahead and I'll deal with the pirate robot. And it's basically a reason for Goku to get distracted and Goku to be behind the others so they're not he's not around when Blue shows up. But here it's like, they're all fighting it for a bit and then it's like only after a while Goku says, okay, now you guys go on ahead, I'll deal with it. But yeah, it's actually really, honestly, like I thought it was a very interesting fight. Like, like it had a kind of sense of space to it. Like, there's like the one part where, Goku is like, up on the railings and then the pirate's shooting at it. And it's like, I mean, there's one thing that I find really annoying about it, and that's the fact that, they use looped frames for this. Like, they loop the frames and it's not a perfect loop. There is clearly a part where, like, between, like, the start and the end, there's like a jump. It's like watching a GIF, but, like, the GIF's not a perfect GIF. It's like, you could, like, it just always stutters at one point when they start it up again. But besides that, like, there is, like, they have that kind of awareness, the idea of, like, okay, and right now Goku is above the pirate robot, so the pirate robot's gonna go and shoot above, and, like, there is a sense of space, and it's like it actually makes it like feel like a legitimately enjoyable fight, and I think not in a way that I don't even think really the manga could do.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Because you're actually following the movements of the character, you do get that better sense of spatial reasoning, within the environment that they're in. And yeah, like it was just really well put. It's just a really well put together sequence, and just. This is some of, like, I would say some of my personal favorite filler so far. Like, because usually, like, whenever they, like, add in, like, a fight scene, it's just, like, it's just kind of, like, repetitive failure. And here, like, they kind of mix it up a little bit. Yeah, like, I mean, you do have, like, instead of Goku, like, trying to do a thing and he fails and tries to do a thing and he fails and he tries, like, just to pad it out, it's just, Goku is keeping it distracted. Well, like you said, like, Bulma and Krillin, like, man a cannon, just fire at it. And it's, like, holy crap. And then they try to fire again, but this time, it's looking at them, so it dodges, and so they can't fire at it a second time. And then, like, the robot's going after them. And then, in one of the dopest scenes, Bulma just gets in a truck and just drives straight into the thing and knocks it into the water. And in the manga, that's just Goku. Like, Goku had already told him, you guys go, I'll deal with this. And he just, like, kicks it into the water. Here, like, it isn't Goku that does it. Like, Bulma's the one that, like, does that. And then they're like, we're gonna go like do this thing, and Goku's like, okay, and then Goku gets pulled underwater to like fight it, and yeah, it's a really like just fun sequence of events, and then you have like Goku having his like little underwater battle with it. Goku like gets out of the water, but then like he lands like on like the railing, which because of the robot shooting at it, he lands where it's like not secure, so he falls. And then, like, the rubble lands on his tail, and the rest of the rubble lands on top of him, so he has to, like, wait a while before he can get back up. And it's just, like, it's like the writers really planned out, like, how they were gonna pace this fight out, and just to make it, like, feel substantial.
That being said, one issue that I think would piss off other people more than me, but it's like, I think I'm still actually thinking about this, like, it kind of makes the robot pirate seem way too powerful. Like...
I mean, you're right. What is this robot's power level? I know what you're thinking, and it's
no, it's not even, like, this isn't even, like, the sarcastically attempting to power scale meter ding. This is just, like, in general, it's like, it catches the Yoibo. It, like, survives getting a turret throat, like, a big cannon being launched at it. It survives, like, getting hit by a truck. It, like, survives all these things that Goku hits it with. And you're kind of surprised that it's still standing. Like, it's like, with the amount of things that it withstands, it makes you think that, like, this is, like, such a big, powerful thing, but it's just this random robot. It's like, Metallic was a robot, and Goku dealt with him pretty quickly. So it's kind of like, it's like there's good things here, and there's things that are like, maybe, like, it's kind of like there's a trade-off here. It's a bit of a, I don't know how you could have done it, because the manga makes it such a short fight. So it's like,
right.
Inevitably, they just make it look like a bigger deal, and like that's kind of, it can be an issue if you want to take like everything that's happening at complete face value.
Yeah, I would say one of the things that makes this fight kind of work is the fact that it does try to keep Goku, like, because Goku isn't the only one fighting it, it is also like Kuririn and Bulma getting involved, and because, I mean, we don't know, like, how, like, Metallic would have stood up to a cannon type stuff, and, in comparison to, like, say, Goku's Kamehameha, because Goku never fires one at it. So, like, I feel like they walked that line all right, because, because, like I said, Goku gets caught under rubble, so then Goku's just taken out of the fight entirely for a while, so then it's just Kuririn and Bulma having to deal with it. And while Goku's under that rubble, the sequence, like, goes full horror movie, where they're, like, running for their lives, and it's kind of dark and eerie, and there are dead bodies, and, like, the robot is, like, slowly sliding across, like, the ground, and its eyes are glowing red like the fucking Terminator, and it goes, like full tilt horror movie mode for, like a couple minutes there.
As in, like, the part where they're, like, in the building? Or, like,
yeah, when they're running from it in the building.
Yeah, because I'm like, and I found that whole sequence so unusual as well, because it's like, it's almost like they're trying to kind of, like, you kind of get the points where they're like, there's like, it looks like somebody's watching them, but then it's like, it's a dead pirate, and then it's like, they're looking at like a big computer, and they're like, oh, this is like the real security system, and the whole point was there was a computer all along, and then it's just like, it's actually kind of strange, because it's like, it almost feels like they're trying to give closure, like, a kind of, like, exposition sort of closure to this whole pirate thing, and, like, where does the pirate robot come from, and what actually is it, and yada yada, but at the same time, it's like, it just kind of, like, randomly happened, like, it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like it really worked for me, because it just kind of almost feels like it just didn't really belong there. It's like, we're just fighting the guy, and now you're just suddenly stopping so we can go into a computer facility?
I would say it belongs about as much as the pirate robot itself does.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, because, I mean, the pirate robot itself just... And now they're fighting a pirate robot. So, yeah, like, they're running around the facility, and then they just happen to find, like, the big control panel stuff. Like, I feel like that kind of, like I said, I do think it's kind of weird that they try to mislead you to think that, like, someone is, like, oh, there's someone behind the whole thing. And really there wasn't. It was just, like, a dead pirate guy just sitting in a chair. Like, that was kind of weird, that they were trying to do that fake out. But Like I did kind of like I like the build up to it though, like when they're trying to get away from it, and like I said, like it goes horror movie mode for a while, where it's just like the pirate robot is slowly, it's like stalking them through the building, and they're just terrified, running for their lives, and like yeah, you have like Goku who like like when they're in that computer room and the whole thing's on fire because the robot just started fucking everything up in there, and Goku's just like, hey, jump on the Nyoibo, get down here, and like he saves them. And then it goes back into the manga material where the robot leaves the building to find Bulma and Kuririn, and Goku's like at the top of that building, and then comes down to like smash the robot in the head. Like I like how they tied all that stuff back in, because like in the manga, it's like the whole smashing in the head thing, like him being on top of the building, happens right after he leaves the water. Like, because, it's like the water, he jumps out of the water and somehow ends up on top of that building, which I think is kind of weird that that interior is big enough to house, like, a 5-story building, but whatever. It's one of the weird things spatially that didn't really make sense to me. Like, where like, so much of this episode spatially made sense, that was one of those things I'm like, this feels not... Like, this area isn't big enough for that.
I mean, yeah, I think... now I'm just looking at the manga, it's... Wait...
Yeah, because like I was flipping through it, even when I was going through the manga, it felt kind of
I think
weird.
it's like he gets out of the water, and then he's on the ground floor, and they use the Nyoibo to get up to the top floor of the building.
Yeah, you are right. That is, yeah. It's just kind of weird that like that there's just this skyscraper like in this room. Okay, he's on the opposite end of... Okay, because I was thinking about like when he was on the catwalk, and I thought the building may have been on... Okay, I see where it is spatially now. Alright, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Still weird that there's, like, a 5-story building inside of a cave, but I'll let that slide.
I guess, Toriyama wanted to do that, because, like, hey, we've never had Goku launch from a high place and ready a punch before. Let's do that. Why not?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was cool. So yeah, Goku, like, does his Junken and just cracks the thing and like, snaps its head in two, like Goku do. And... Bulma and Kuririn are making their way through the cave systems, and Blue is just, behind them and changing the arrows that they left for Goku to follow, which I don't even know if they ever told Goku that they were going to leave him arrows to follow, which it seems unnecessary.
They didn't know that there was going to be a split path, so they can't go be like, alright, let's go back to where Goku's fighting the pirate robot and tell him that we just follow the arrow.
Right. Yeah. It's just, like, also, I feel like Goku has, like, his super keen sense of smell, so you think he would have followed that instinctually instead of looking for an arrow, but,
now you're basically just making a plot hole, right? You're if Goku can smell them, then why did he go the wrong direction?
Yeah, no, it like honestly, I did think that. I was just like,
plot hole. Toriyama's such a hack writer. We've got to destroy it.
I know, right? Such garbage. This is why I only watch respectable shonen like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Hunter, you mean? Hunter,
yeah, there we go.
The
Hunter,
best
Hunter's the So that's where all the classy shonen fans go, is Hunter.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it did like make me raise an eyebrow while watching it, because I'm just like, wait. Why would he even... Alright. I mean, Goku isn't like the smartest kid in the class, so I'll let that go too. But like, I feel like Goku's instincts would have just had him go and then run the direction that they went in.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, so yeah, like the episode pretty much ends with Bulma and Kuririn hitting a dead end, and they're like, oh, well, we're gonna have to swim for it. And they jump in the water and they're swimming away, and Blue's right behind them, and Goku's giving chase, but in like the wrong damn direction. And the anime staff really dropped the ball on this one, because Bulma's panty color is completely inconsistent with what it was earlier when they showed it in the filler. Shame, Toei. Shame.
It's almost like the filler, they don't necessarily pay attention to what's coming ahead in the manga or something. Or I wouldn't say they didn't know, because they would have definitely known that the chapter would have been out.
It's one episode later. It's just so weird though that like she has like these kind of full full panties with with strawberries on them, and then even like the cut of her underwear is like very different, like because like the underwear she's wearing in the actual manga / in this portion of the anime is like a good bit more revealing, a bit cheekier, if you will, and doesn't have any prints on it. So yeah, it's just honestly, I feel like that just the even though like you're not doing like the Kururin like looking at her panties scene like gag, like I feel like that is more fan servicey than like the jokey fan service scene from the filler in the last episode, just because of just how revealing, like how much more revealing those underwear are than the ones in the previous episode. But Toriyama, he likes his girls.
Yeah,
he
I mean that's I mean, you can basically when you realize I think that's one of the reasons why Bulma is here.
Oh man.
I mean, I have a theory. I have a theory about Blue now that I realized after watching the 52. So,
really?
Yeah, well, it's not a theory. Okay. It's just it's like that makes it sound like it's actually something good and not just like me randomly speculating. But anyway, episode 52. So anyway, so Goku's path leads to a dead end that just has a trapdoor, and then there's just a giant octopus.
Giant octopus. Yeah. Once again, Dragon Ball, and then just
why is there a giant octopus?
Giant talking octopus.
Why is there a giant okay? I mean, all right. I guess it's not as weird. I guess it's just like almost like the same as the bear with a sword. The talking bear with a sword, and now it's just talking octopus. It's like, why is there an octopus there? Like why is it there? That's the thing. Like,
well, I mean, clearly,
what is it doing there?
It's where the trap leads you to be eaten by the octopus.
But, how would the octopus survive in a cave in the middle of the ocean, that nobody's going to?
Stop poking plot holes in Toriyama's masterpiece.
I mean, this is what I mean, but I mean, it's so almost like there's just so much everything in the Red Ribbon Army. I don't really know what it's trying to be. It's literally last episode we had, sci-fi pirate robot. Here we just have giant talking octopus.
Yes,
and I it's like it just feels like almost like they're like, okay, we'll make a joke about Goku mistaking octopuses and squids.
Yeah. That is all they really had for that. And then Goku getting slammed back and forth into a wall before shooting it in the face with a Kamehameha. But yeah, like that whole sequence in the manga is 3 pages roughly, maybe 4.
Let me count. Here... 1, 2, 3, 4. 3.5 pages.
Okay. So about 3.5 pages in the manga. Here they stretch it out a bit, mostly because they don't add a whole lot more to that sequence, but it's broken up with filler. And this is what I was talking about earlier when in the first episode we were talking about, where I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's so front loaded with filler, and it's just filler for so long, and they don't break it up with anything. Here, yeah, there's filler in the beginning, but it's being broken up with things that are actually happening from the manga. So it kind of makes it feel like, these characters are having their own parallel adventures. Goku is dealing with this octopus thing, and Bulma and Kururin are, finding treasure and fighting Mecha Shiva.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I didn't know what the right term for something like that is. Yeah, that's it. It's Shiva. Yeah, I was
yeah.
It's a giant Shiva statue that shoots swords at people.
Yeah, it's weird and dumb. That scene goes on just a little too long. I'm fine with them running into some weird shit and having to solve a puzzle or whatever to get the treasure, as opposed to in the manga where they just come across treasure. They have to work for it a little bit more. I'm fine with that. Oh, by the way, to anyone who watches the Venture Brothers, yes, I was deliberately referencing Mecha Shiva from that. I don't know if you've ever watched the Venture Brothers.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, no. It's do you even know what the Venture Brothers is at all?
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, it's basically a Johnny Quest parody, is what it is. Yeah, okay. And Mecha Shiva is a thing that happened as a joke in one of the episodes. So yeah, so for the 3 people who have seen who have seen Venture Brothers, there you go. Here's your Mecha Shiva reference. But yeah, so yeah, you have Goku versus the octopus corresponding, like, paralleled with the Kuririn versus Mecha Shiva, and like, he stabs it in the head. And then they have to like solve like the thing with like the 3 treasure chests to figure out like how to get the treasure to come out. And Goku blasts the octopus and just starts eating it because Goku.
It's almost like he's basically having real takoyaki, except not balls or whatever. But it's like it's fried octopus.
Yeah. But like, what's his favorite flavor of takoyaki?
There are different flavors of takoyaki.
Oh man, nobody's gonna get that except for like you, me, and like Lance. And
Danny's gonna get it. Geekdom's gonna get it.
Well, you assume that Danny's actually gonna watch this though.
Is Geekdom going to watch our video? The very famous Geekdom 101. Very, very good question. Anyway, yes. This is also now we know that like this is like this if the Dragon Cast has changed in any way, because like this is like the first post-con Dragon Cast.
Right. Yeah. I mean, oh man, Gabby, like if the famous Geekdom 101 watches our video, think about the clout.
Listen, we're only like an hour in, and we haven't even like we it's too early to start getting into like shitting on everybody territory.
What are you talking about? I'm just talking about the clout. That's all. There's no shade. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, back to Dragon Ball and it being
Dragon Ball. Is that what we talk about?
Yeah, we talk about Dragon Ball. So yeah.
Good.
Like after they deal with Mecha Shiva and like the treasure puzzle, Blue shows up and Bulma, being the horny teenager she is, just starts literally slobbering all over him. Just going, oh.
Yeah, literally. I right. Bulma literally drooling over him.
Yeah, like just like drooling over him, wiggling her ass back and forth. As he's just like, get the fuck off of me, you disgusting harlot. And she's just like, he's gay. And then Kuririn being like, oh, there are gay guys in the Red Ribbon Army? And then Blue just gets really pissed about that.
Yeah, it's... Okay, because it's like, I didn't know if, like, Blue got offended because they called him gay, or because, like, they can't believe that a gay person would be a part of the Red Ribbon Army. I mean, I think in the manga, like, the manga makes Krillin say, I didn't know there were gay bad guys.
Yeah. So yeah, like, I'm not sure, like which, like, what he's actually supposed to be offended by. Maybe this is, like, something more of a nuanced Japanese thing, and,
yeah, because it's like, according to, I mean, Geekdom just, on your tweet just before, Geekdom said apparently, like, Bulma, like, literally calls Blue, like, a faggot.
What?
Apparently, I mean, I'm saying this in context. I'm not saying it as a slur.
Yeah, no. Like that's yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, does Blue actually, or does Bulma actually call like?
Apparently,
yeah. Oh yeah. I see it now, bro. In the Japanese manga, Bulma straight up calls him a faggot. I'm like, oh, if that's okay. So I feel like maybe they were trying because there is that line, because I had actually screen capped it because it made me laugh my ass off, where Kuririn says, it's like, come at me, you flaming homo.
Homophobia. It's okay if you're like, if the homophobic.
That tweet got a lot of likes. I'm just now looking at it.
Oh,
I'm just now looking at this tweet. It's
got a lot
of likes and retweets.
Don't look at the comment section. Because it's just like, it's... Listen, like, we could say that it's like, oh no, this is totally respectful to gay people, but it's like, if the characters are kind of like using slurs, even if like it's like they're using slurs in Japanese and it's like the context different, like, that's still kind of,
yeah, oh man. Yeah, just... because obviously, like, the dub cleans that up, if I remember correctly, and it's like, even, like, the subs, it's just like, oh, he's gay, so if they're just straight up, like, if the words they're using are supposed to be more offensive, and it's just like, yeah, no, Blue's a faggot, like, yeah, okay, I get why he's angry now.
Oh, that would be so that would actually be so messed up. Anyway, so this gets into my theory of why Blue is gay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Toriyama made Blue gay because that way he could make a joke about having Bulma like trying to like flirt with him and trying to like seduce him and have it completely backfire.
Yeah, maybe. Because I think it's. I feel like Blue was already because Blue is so like elegant and flamboyant and like
Well, I mean,
he's
yeah, it's like it's that as well.
refined.
It's like it just always feels like the idea is like, oh, you know what would be fun if I had like a gay villain and like he's like hot, and so it's like I do a scene where like Bulma like tries flirting with the guy and he's like, oh, you're disgusting because he's gay, and then like that's his starting point, and then he just like worked out everything else from there.
Can I just like to mention how progressive the Red Ribbon Army is. I mean, like this is a military that has black guys and women and a gay.
I mean, we
Very
haven't seen the
progressive.
woman yet.
Well, true. We
haven't seen the one woman.
Yeah, we haven't seen a single woman yet, but we're gonna learn later that Violet is a member of this military and she is high ranking. And in the filler, I mean, they hired Husky. She's a woman. So I'm just
That's
saying,
true.
just the Red
And
Ribbon
animal
Army
people.
is equal opportunity.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter if your race, your gender, your sexual preference, or whether you're an animal person. The Red Ribbon
Yeah.
Army accepts everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could all learn a valuable lesson from the Red Ribbon Army and, kill people.
Yay!
Yeah, no, it's just I like that is something that did like cross my mind. I'm like, wait a second, this is a military, like with like I said, the different races and women and at least one gay guy and a fat guy. They don't even fat shame in this military. There's
that's
a fat
true.
guy. So yeah. Like this is like the most progressive military in existence. Congratulations, America! Like you're more oppressive than the Red Ribbon Army, or you're more discriminatory than the Red Ribbon Army.
Oh my god! Why does it feel like the longer we do these Dragon casts, the more accidentally political they get?
Because I don't know when to not say. I mean, okay, that's not true. I know when to not say things. I just think it's funny to say it regardless.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna say it. Like soon we're gonna go and like start having like 20-minute tangents about like fuck Trump. Maybe. I don't know. For all we know, at some point, like if it keeps up this direction. But okay, so tell you what. You know what? We should get back to something that's totally not political. Okay, story structure in Dragon Ball. So. Okay,
Yes.
basically. So when Blue shows up, then Krillin basically fights him, and Krillin then gets his ass kicked. And essentially, this is essentially like what I feel like is probably one of the first examples of you have this bad guy who shows up, and Goku's friends tries to deal with the bad guys, and then they get their ass kicked. And then they're
Yeah.
like, Goku, where are you? Goku, we need you. And Goku shows up just at the very last moment, just in the nick of time, just as his friends are going to die. And he's like, are you the guy who beat up my friends? And then he's like, oh, yes, I am. And he's like, well, great. I'm going to beat you up. Like, this is like,
Yeah.
I thought that, like, Tao Pai Pai was the first time this happened. But no, I think this is probably, Blue was
Yeah.
probably the first time this has actually happened.
Like this is like our just like the secondary like protagonist like gets his ass whipped, and now like Goku has being the protagonist has to come in to save the day, because like the only other time that this has really happened where we've had like one of the characters job out to to show like how powerful someone was the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai with Yamcha. Yamcha and Kuririn both lose to the Muten Roshi to build him up for his match with Goku. But that wasn't like a traditional antagonist. This
And
is
yeah,
like a
it's a little
traditional antagonist.
Exactly. It's a little bit different because, like, there it was just like, oh, he's just a guy that Goku's going to have to face, and how is Goku going to face up to this guy? With this, it's like, now it's personal kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
the idea that if you beat up Krillin, then Goku is like gonna take it seriously. Like that is a thing that gets like it is almost like an overlying theme of the entire series and the entire manga at least. It's like no matter what, if somebody beats up Krillin, Goku's like, well, great, that's unforgivable. So it's like this time I felt almost like it just kind of comes out of nowhere to the point I'm just kind of like, like, I didn't really get excited about it in the same way you get excited when it happens in, like, the Saiyan arc, I think, was probably one of the best examples of this. But
Yes.
at the same time, it's like, it's, you know, once again, it is supposed to be, like, cathartic. It's like, you've seen this guy do this really horrible thing to a character that you care about, and now you want to see that character, you know, get his comeuppance, and you know that Goku can do that because Goku's the main character. It's just really, it can be really comforting when it's like done right. Like,
yeah. See, Gabby, this is why I'm glad you're here, because, you know, like, that didn't even dawn on me, because I was too busy giggling like a 10-year-old over Kuririn calling Blue a flaming homo. So, like, I'm glad that you were the more mature, analytical individual in this context, where I can just go, hey, good, she noticed the smart thing while I'm being 12 years old in the corner.
I'd say, like, you know, it's sort of like, you know, it's because I'm the good cop and you're the bad cop, or whatever we even are anymore. But I think it has evolved to something beyond anybody's comprehension.
We're kind of, you know, becoming more nuanced, well-rounded characters in the meta-narrative of our own podcast.
Character development, exactly.
There you go, yeah.
Although, one thing I did find a little bit kind of almost jarring about the Krillin fighting Blue is that the beginning of it just happens off screen.
Yeah, that really, because, like, I was like, whoa, what? And, like, because I'd had the manga with me, and, like I flipped the page, I'm like, yeah, no, that's exactly how that happens. It's just so weird that, like, he starts off, like, his ass already kind of pre-beaten, and it's just like, what? And I always kind of hate when something like that happens, especially because, like, it's not like we had any context for how strong Blue was up until this point.
Exactly.
Like, we never saw him fight anyone.
We didn't even know that Blue was, like, out of everybody else, like, you know, compared to Silver that Goku beat, compared to White, who was, like, not even really anything.
Yeah.
You know, Blue was a guy who you need actually, like, he's actually strong. It's like, it's a surprise. But it's like, you know, you'd think you would actually, you know, milk that for the actual drama it's worth by actually having Krillin fight and then Krillin fail and having us see that instead of just suddenly having it cut to Krillin, like, beaten up a bit.
Yeah, it's really, really weird that, like, they would just do it like that, because it's not even like, because there's like zero buildup. It's just like, Kuririn's gonna fight him, it cuts to Goku, and when it cuts back to Kuririn, he's, like, on the ground, like, bleeding from the mouth, and, like, all fucked up. It's just like, whoa, what happened? I mean, he does get back up and, like, you know, fight him a little bit more. And in the anime, he does fight him a little bit longer. You know, like, he gets like a hit in, and, like, really pisses Blue off, and then Blue shows off his special power. Which, that's the weird thing. Like I think that's, like, the most jarring thing is that, like, Blue wrecked him that much without even using his psychic powers.
Like, yeah, that's exactly. It's like, yeah, it's like, why is that? Like, what? Like, yeah, it's like you think, like, I mean, you know, as in, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but you'd think what would happen is Krillin is fighting Blue, and Krillin is beating Blue's ass, or at least, you know, managing to stand his own against Blue, because, you know, he's Krillin is an actual trained martial artist who is, like, you know, one of the strongest, you know, was in the top 4 of the Tenkaichi Budokai, but then it's just like, no, it's like, Blue is, like, stronger than Krillin, or at least as strong as Krillin, and on top of that, he also has a special technique that can paralyze him. He's got, like, psychic powers, and it's just like, that feels almost unnecessary. Like, either the Blue being really strong, or the Blue having psychic powers feels very unnecessary. Like, pick one. Don't give him both. At that point, it's like, it's not even, like, I don't even really care about him fighting Goku. It's just kind of like, it just, like, I don't really know what he's supposed to be then.
Right, yeah, I really wish that they had done a little bit more build-up for Blue, and, like, really because one of the things that I had mentioned, like, you know, way early into this arc was I really liked the Colonel Silver, like, filler, because, like I said, like, it builds him up as this big, tough, like, guy who's, like, you know, he's, like, as strong as 10 men, but Goku's, like, as strong as, like, 50 men, so when he goes to face Goku, Goku just bitch slaps him with his tail, and it's over. Here, we have zero build-up for this guy, and then he just, off-screen, of all things, just wrecks Kuririn, and, like, that would have been a perfect opportunity for, like, you know, like, the filler to, like, give us something more with that, and establish something.
Like, I mean, yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised the filler didn't even have any sort of explanation as to how it led to that scene. Is it the exact same thing? When normally, like, with the thing where I feel like they're pressed for manga material, you'd think they would do that. You'd think they would, like, increase the fight, but they didn't. I'm actually very surprised.
Yeah, no, and I'm honestly like, I'm like, this is one of those few times where I'm like, yeah, no, like this could have used filler to make this feel more natural.
And it's like, I'd be like, oh, maybe it's because they just wanted to end it off at that point of Goku showing up, because that's a good point to end it. But then it's like, they could have taken out half the stuff with, it's like they could have taken out so much stuff with the octopus.
Or the treasure chest stuff, like,
or the octopus, yes.
You
could, like, they spend way too long in the octopus as well, so, I don't know. So also talking about things that kind of, talking about, once again, being progressive and political. So, the whole point is, like, Bulma tries to, like, seduce Blue, yes. And then it doesn't work, and she's like, okay, he's clearly gay, and then she's like, well, what if I said that I'm actually a man? And then like, Blue's just like, in the anime subs are basically just like, no, you're not, because no men have breasts like that.
Yeah. What was it? I like, because, like, in the Viz translation of the manga, he yells, like, then you'd be a freak of nature.
And like, that's even, oh man, it's like, we've got homophobia, we've got transphobia, we've got, like, not misogyny, we've got, like, fan service shots of revealing shots of Bulma. It's just, social politics in the 1980s Japan, it's something.
Yeah, so, okay, one of the things that, like, kind of caught me off guard and kind of reminded me of the type of character we're dealing with Blue is that, like, after he, like, yells at Bulma and she, like, backs off, he starts talking about, like, it's just like, oh, I'm going to kill you too. And I'm going to rip you apart slowly and gruesomely once I'm done with him. And it's just like, oh... It's just like, because, like, Blue is, like, because you kind of forget that with Blue, just how, because, this is a guy who was, like, killing off his subordinates for, like, picking their nose, or not being proficient enough at specific things. Like, he is ruthless and cold-blooded to the core, and even though he's, like, foppish and gay and, like, whatever, like, he's also malicious and violent and cruel, and, like, because he says it almost with, like, not like a sense of glee, but just like, oh yeah, no, like once I'm done with him, defenseless high school girl, I am going to physically tear you apart in a gruesome, violent, gory fashion. Like, just matter-of-factly. Like, he just gives no fucks, and it's kind of nice to have a villain like this right now, because Colonel Silver kind of, bland, like, he's just kind of like generic military guy, which worked for what he was doing in that part. And then with White, White was even more, I think, generic and one note. And so that finally has someone with, like, some actual charisma to them, and he has a lot of personality to him, and he has a lot of stuff going on with him, and he even has a fucking sexual orientation, and he's, like, just sadistic and also, like, really fucked up, and just, he doesn't seem like he enjoys the fact that he's super malicious and evil. He's just like, no, just, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, this is part of my job. And there's so much stuff going on with Blue that really makes me like him as a villain.
Which is weird, because so many of the others had, like, nothing, and then suddenly Blue has, like, 5 different elements to him. Like, it is almost jarring. It's almost like I'm not expecting him to suddenly have, like, so many gimmicks to him. Like, once again, it's even like the psychic powers. It's like, and he also has psychic powers.
Yeah, he has psychic powers. He's like this Nazi-esque, straight-laced, foppish, gay, malicious, military leader with psychic powers. It's just like, he has, like, so many things going on with his character, and he's so delightfully campy at times, and he's just brimming with personality, which is, like, we haven't had that from a villain in a while. And not at all in this arc. Like, the closest we've come to, like, having, like, a fun villain was Murasaki. That was it. And now we have Blue, and you kind of see why, like, Blue's arc in this arc is, like, so long, because Yeah, no, like Blue has so much going on with his character, and he's just a delightful fucking villain to just have around. Oh, and something else I really liked was this is something that they added in, which is Bulma pleading for Kuririn's life. Like, you know, he picks up the rock, like Blue picks up this rock, he's about to just smash Kuririn's head in with it. And in the manga, this is where Goku jumps out of the water and has his big hero moment. But in the anime, they add in a scene where Bulma's like, please don't do it. Like, I'll give you the Dragon Balls. We have 2 Dragon Balls. I will just give them to you. Just please don't kill him. Like, you know. And it's like Bulma just kind of, once again, kind of being proactive. Like, she's making a difficult choice. And it's not specifically, I mean, she's doing it to save herself as well, but very specifically in this moment, she's doing it to save Kuririn. And I feel like the Bulma from the beginning of Dragon Ball may not have been as altruistic as the Bulma we're seeing right now in the series.
Also, the thing I also really liked about it was, like, then after that, Blue's just like, I can just get them myself after I kill you anyway.
Right?
And you're just like, like, it's just like that just kind of hurts. It's like Bulma can literally do nothing. Like she can't, like she cannot, like she can't physically do anything, and she can't, like, you know, outsmart him. It's like, oh. It's like that kind of like sense of powerlessness that makes you just really want to see Goku show up and, like, you know, solve everything.
Yeah, no, and yeah, I think it's like a good little bit of build up to where just, you know, yeah, like, you know, now like they have exhausted all options. Like, this villain is just like, yeah, no, like you can't bargain with me. I'm gonna kill you and take the things I want regardless. And they're just really backed into a corner. And then we get the big Goku hero moment. And once again, it's one of those little filler moments. It's really small, but it's one I really appreciate because it gives a little bit more to Bulma's character, and it kind of raises the tension just a few notches higher. And I really like it.
Yeah, so then, yeah, the episode ends with Goku being about to face Blue, and that's basically where we ended off. I think that's a pretty good place to end it off, I've got to say.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, that's, like that is a good, like, tension-building cliffhanger, like, and honestly, because I know, like, you know, you felt like these episodes really dragged, and I can agree, like, you know, it drags in places. I feel once you get past, like I think that first episode really drags, and if you skip to, like, the 4-minute mark when original content, if you skip to the actual title card, like I was doing, because I was strapped for time, if, like, you know, I had so much fun watching the last 3 episodes of this block, where it was just, you know, crazy, weird adventure, like, you know, everything, like some new twist around the corner, and it was just like you never knew what was gonna happen next. Like, oh, they're gonna fall, like, you know, they're gonna, like, go into, like, the trap with, like, the spears, or they're gonna, like, have, like, that little filler with the lava, or the filler with the eel, or, like, this big fight with a robot, and it's just. And then you have, like, the octopus, and then Blue with his psychic powers. It's just, like, it's this whole segment just kind of keeps you on your toes, because you never know what's the next thing the story is just going to drop in your lap, and, like, this is happening now. And yeah, I find it just so much fun. And, like, I could totally get that, like, if you're just kind of put off because it's just tonally all over the place, but I kind of liked it. It's just, like, it's just throwing everything at the wall and just seeing what sticks. And I had a blast watching it.
Yeah, I think for me, yeah, I'm not really as fond of it. Like, I feel like in this Pirate Cave section, even in the manga, but especially in the anime, it just feels like things are there for the sake of being there. It's like, oh, you know, we're just gonna have this thing show up, and we're gonna do this thing, and there's gonna be this obstacle, and it doesn't really feel like there's actually a reason for it to happen, because, like, you know, they get past it, they get past the opportunities. Like, it doesn't really feel like there's a kind of a, you know, a payoff to any of these individual scenarios. The closest you have is, like, Blue, I guess. And, like, I guess the pirate robot, the payoff is letting Goku be delayed so we can have the whole Blue thing. But it's like, I don't think the payoff for this is really as strong to really sort of say, oh, you know, and this whole adventure was a whole big adventure and totally worth all the extraneous stuff.
Yeah, no, like I mean, like if you're just wanting the story to move forward, yeah, no, this is I could totally see this, and now this is just fucking tedious. Um, but for me, like I said, like I just like 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 right now, like I'm in like adventure mode where just anything can happen, and it's just like I'm just 10 years old again, and I'm like, yeah. So like that's kind of like the mindset like I'm viewing it from. And yeah, like I mean, if you're wanting the story to progress and actually do things and get us to the next relevant plot beat, yeah, like even the manga doesn't like like because a lot of stuff is still in the manga, like like the manga is just kind of just doing random bullshit at this point, and it does feel like it's just kind of spinning its wheels.
It's like this is like the most sort of adventure like I think that the story's ever really gotten, but at the same time, like in the manga at least, but at the same time I also feel like there's the least amount of like actually important stuff that's properly happening. It just almost makes me feel like maybe Toriyama just isn't really that good at writing like this kind of like almost sort of like a sort of adventure story.
Maybe.
As in, like I can. I mean, to be fair, like the first arc was all right, but even the first arc had like all this like extraneous stuff, like the camping scene and the monster carrot and the like there was always like like well, what is this accomplishing? Why are we doing this now? And I think it's actually the same for the Red Ribbon Army, although in some cases I think it's worse just because like there's more of it and it's like this one whole thing, and it's like. I think what helps it for me, I think, are the characters, because we know these characters, right. and we know how they interact, and seeing them in different situations, I think that's the interesting thing. Like, seeing Bulma, like, kind of bounce off the fact that Goku and Krillin are crazy martial artists, and she's just an old teenage girl, that's cool. Seeing Bulma try to flirt with Blue and having it be rejected, that's cool. Seeing, like, Goku get upset because some guy, like, beat up Krillin, that's cool.
Right. And, I don't know, like, because I kind of view it in like the same context that I would view like an Indiana Jones movie, because like Indiana Jones, like he goes on an adventure and just like like Temple of Doom thing where it's just and now like this crazy weird thing happened and this crazy weird thing happened and like it's like, just like the adventure like, serial format.
But like even then, it always feels like. The characters are learning something with each different encounter. Like it's kind of like when like, you normally have, in those kinds of movies, you have, like, the two characters who are sort of, like, aren't really fond of each other, and then through the adventure, they get more fond of each other. I guess that's kind of what happened with Goku and Bulma in the first arc of Dragon Ball. But here it's like, none of the characters change. Like,
no, not at
and
all.
Bulma and Goku do not change from any of these adventures. They're just having these adventures.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not going to argue with you. Like, I can't. Like, I mean, from a structural standpoint, no, this is not good storytelling. But I'd be a bullshit liar if I didn't say, like, I didn't think that them fighting a pirate robot and Bulma, like, slamming a truck into it and shooting a cannon at it and, like, just all the back and forth and, like, that kind of, like I said, that horror movie segment where it's, like, stalking them in the building and stuff, that I just didn't, like, enjoy every single second of that. Was it superfluous? Yes. Did it add anything to the narrative? Not really. I enjoyed it, and I am just gonna be unrepentant about that. So, like, I totally get why it doesn't jive with you, but I just had too much fun watching it.
Zeon, is this opposite day?
Right, yeah, I'm about to say, like, are you bad cop now? No, it's our character development. It's that nuance we were talking about.
Character development. I'm becoming more critical of. It's because like it's almost like I feel like because I don't want to say like I'm a hypocrite or something, or it's like some things I defend, some things I won't defend. It's just more like here all I see are just like I just see just how kind of pointless this is to the story. Where I think in other cases where I defend it because I feel like this makes sense for the story. It makes the story mean something. It's character development, even if it might be some kind of ass pull. That's the kind of thing I feel like I defend anyway. So I feel like this is consistent. Maybe I'm not a hypocrite. Please don't make an exposed video on why Mrs. Smallpix doesn't have consistent opinions and therefore you should not take her seriously.
Because honestly, like, I get called out for like hypocrisies and stuff. It's like, oh, well, you said this about this episode, but then you said this thing, and this was basically the same thing happened, but but like you liked one, you hated the other, and I'm like, well, yeah, there's a thing called context. Like context is very important when like. Because, like, not all pieces of media and, like, not all, like, tropes and story elements are created equally. So you could have, two very similar things happen in an arc, but, like, depending on how it's handled and the context in which it happens, it could end up having, like a positive or negative, like, impact on the viewer. And this is a situation where it's just, because, I mean, there are a lot of things where, like, I totally get, like, why Gabby would like certain things, like the Genki Dama sword, with Trunks.
I'll be completely honest, that's the thing I was thinking about, where it's like, that's the thing where I ardently defend it, and then you just hate it. And I'm like, I respect your opinion, and I respect my opinion, but we have different ways of, like, justifying it.
Like that was the point where I was just like I think, like, that review was where I just gained like just these huge levels of respect for you, like, in terms of, like, your reviews and stuff, because I was already a fan of your reviews prior to that, but, like, because it was just like you took something that I thought was just frustratingly stupid and I hated with a passion, and you made me understand why someone would like it. And I went, yeah, no, I totally get where she's coming from. I don't get that feeling from that episode, but I get why she likes it. And yeah, it was it's just, like I said, like, people get different things out of entertainment, and like people always like, oh god, I really hate when people are like, oh, like, you're so objective in how you review things. I'm like, guys, spoilers. There's no such thing as an objective review. There's no objective measurement for what qualifies as good storytelling. Yeah, I could sit there and list you off, like, reasons for, like, 45 minutes of why I liked or disliked something. That doesn't mean I'm objectively right. It just means that this is why it did or did not connect with me on an emotional level, or on, like a, I don't know, like, narrative appreciative level. It's just, everybody's different.
Speaking of that, I think that's a really good time to segue into comments. Remember we did that?
Yes.
So,
okay.
So with the last one, it'd be my last video, right?
Yeah, that would be the Legend of Shenlong movie review.
So when we were replying to comments 6 months ago, yep, this is this definitely what you do. what people do.
These are totally still relevant and will be okay, and don't worry about it. Well, while you're reading through these, I'm going to pick the safest bet and jump straight to Lance's comment, because I know Lance's comment, without even reading it yet, is going to be something worth reading. Also, put a mark on the Lance counter. So yeah, Lance wrote, I'm finally caught up on the Dragon Cast. Love this show. Thank you, Lance. We love yours too. I'm so glad someone else found this movie underwhelming, to say the least. Yeah, because I remember, like, he also, like, in his Dragon Ball dissection, also, I think he had a lot of the same issues we did, honestly. But yeah, I hear so many people lift this one up as some kind of Dragon Ball gateway drug, and maybe it would work, but for my money, I'd say Movie 2 is a much more entertaining and more adept at getting people up to speed, and even if it is a bit off-genre. As for your comments at the end, well, I really don't know what to say. I was touched, very, very touched, at what you had to say about me. Thank you. You guys are fantastic.
Aww, it's just gonna be... Yeah. It's just everybody talking about how everybody's amazing.
Right, yeah, no, it's nice that we are, like, all friends and fans of one another, so, we get to just have a big old... Huh?
We all met each other in person now.
Well, yeah, we have now.
But, like, you and me and Lance and Danny, Geekdom, everybody.
Yeah, we've met so many of these people now. Like, I would say all the people I actively, like, interact with in, like, the YouTube sphere, like, I have now met all of them, I think, at this point. So yeah, no, like it's kind of wild to think, like, like 3 years ago, like, I was just meeting, like, all these online people. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And now, like, yeah, like now I've met, like, pretty much all of them, and I've, like, become IRL friends with them. And, I've met Lance twice. I've met Danny twice now. I've met Quinn twice. I've met Juan twice.
It's great. We need to do, like, like a Kamehacon group vlog.
Oh man, maybe we should.
Because it's like so much happened there. And we could, like I've talked to people about just all the things that happened. Like, we just need, to do it.
Yeah,
and if we start talking about personal stuff, that maybe we shouldn't talk and tell everybody in the world, then we'll just cut it out.
But yeah, no, like, you know, Lance definitely, like, I do love the fact that Lance loves our show. Like, that is nice.
Yeah, Lance, you're the best. We love you.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart, which I'm pretty sure it's funny that we're sitting there like just now we're just talking about how nice Lance is after he's already reacting to apparently some nice things we said to him at the end of this at the end of the podcast that we're reading the questions off of.
You can never have enough positive reinforcement.
There you go.
Okay,
yeah.
Anyway, another comment here from Esteban Vale, I don't know. This definitely made me reflect and realize how great a movie BoJack was relative to the first three. Great Inside Zion. Hope you guys keep these going.
Yes, good. More people who like the BoJack movie, the more I feel validated as a human being.
Oh, okay. let me just tell you this something that there is something that Geekdom 101 has been talking about, and let's just say through that I realized that a lot of people really like the BoJack movie.
Right. Like, because like Danny hit me up. Okay, like Danny was asking us about like Dragon Ball movies and reviewing them, and like who he wanted on what episodes, and like he had hit me up pretty early. I was just like, well, obviously I want the BoJack movie, like it's my favorite, and he was just like, all right, well, you know, like I'll put you on that list. And then he like hit me up later, and he was just like, bro, you're lucky that you called that as early as you did. So many people wanted the BoJack movie. I was like, what the fuck is like. Because to me, like, the BoJack movie is the one that nobody talks about. Like, I remember, like, Gabby, whenever you said that, like, that was one of your favorites, I was like, oh my god, someone who remembers the BoJack movie and likes it. Oh my goodness, I'm not alone in the world. So, apparently, no, we're super not alone, because there's a bunch of people who really like the BoJack movie.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I guess it's not really an unpopular opinion, but I mean, I don't even know what a popular opinion is, though. But still,
because like, thing is, like, I've never heard people like shit on the BoJack movie, but like, I just never hear it come up in conversation. It's always, dude, Broly, am I right? Or like World's Strongest, or like movie 13, or movie 12. You know, like those. Those are the ones I usually see tossed around. Maybe some people talk about movie like 5 or movie 1. But yeah, just movie is that movie 9 is BoJack?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the movie 9? Yes.
Yeah. So like DBZ movie 9, like just I never hear people talk about it. Like other than you. Like me and you are like the only people I've heard talk about it. So when I found out that so many people were like trying to get that one, and like Danny had to like shoot them down because I had called dibs. Which, by the way, I was surprised by the one you chose for Danny's list.
Oh, it was just because, I mean, there were only a few left, and I was like, sure. Let's put it this way. I wanted to do BoJack. But everybody else wanted to do BoJack. Literally,
like I just imagine you like looking at the list, like, God damn it, Jay stole my fucking movie. Fine, this one.
I mean that's kind of what happened essentially. Because it was like for me, it was just like I only wanted to talk about like 9 and 13, and they were both taken. And it's like maybe 12. No, 12's taken as well. Okay. Shoot, whatever one's left. Anyway. Okay. What's another comment?
I got one. Ashley Denoa wrote, I know you guys have had to chop and change with ideas from the first Dragon Cast, such as releasing a special alongside a normal Dragon Cast once a month for obvious time and scheduling reasons. Yeah, by the way, for like people who don't understand like how time consuming the Dragon Cast actually is for us, it takes about 2 hours to actually watch all the episodes, and then there's about 2 hours of recording, and then about 2 hours of someone having to edit this. So between the two of us, that is like, let's see, 2, 4, 6, like 8 man hours going into each Dragon Cast. So yeah, like we actually put like a lot of time into this, like because you would think like, oh, it's a podcast.
In a way, it's not worth the amount of time we put into it. But
yeah,
no,
like you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a passion project. Like if we were doing this for like money or for views, we would not be doing this podcast because it does not get us a lot of views, and it sure shouldn't. Like these are some of my lowest viewed videos, but I do them because I really like this topic. I like going back through Dragon Ball. I like having like my discussions with Gabby. So yeah, like, you know, this is one of the things that, like, you know, that it kind of holds up the Dragon Cast, is that, like, you know, we are both adults with our own lives, on different hemispheres, and there is a lot of work that actually goes into this, because, you know, we don't just like record everything like on one audio track and then upload it. We just, because we actually record our audio separate and have to like edit out little things here and there to make it flow nicely. So yeah, and then, okay, the rest of her comment was, but it would be great if on the specials you would bring on guests like Mr. Fusion, as you've discussed. But if booking guest delays releasing these podcasts, then by all means don't, as the appeal of these podcasts for me are listening to your opinions on the franchise, and seeing these podcasts pop up on my feed never fails to put a smile on my face. That's really nice. I love all the sweet, nice comments, especially after you and I did a fairly controversial video that didn't get such nice comments. So it's nice to have nice comments. But as far as bringing on special guests and stuff, actually, little known fact, for the Legend of Shenlong podcast, Danny was actually supposed to join us for that, but that was like during the holidays, and Danny had like family obligations to deal with. So that's why, like, he was actually supposed to, like he said he would join us for that one because he really wanted to be on the Dragon Cast. I was like, hey, I mean, we're about to do one for the movie. You could join us for the movie. He's like, dope. But then, like, you know, he had, you know, like I said, scheduling conflicts, and he couldn't join us for when we recorded it. We definitely want to have Lance on for the second movie, and we've already made plans with because Danny already called dibs on Dragon Ball Movie 3. So, like, he really wants to talk about that one. Lance, also, we're probably going to get him on for, like, the Bardock specials, including Episode of Bardock and probably Resurrection F. I spoke to, like, Jax Blade about being on the Broly podcast when we get to that one. So yeah, we've talked to people.
I mean,
yeah, I
didn't know that was happening. I mean, like, when are we even going to get to Broly?
Yeah, no, like, it's not going to be for a long time, but I have been just asking around to people, like, you know, like, which ones would you be interested in? Because, because I mean, like, at some point, like, I imagine we'll figure out a schedule for this and get regular uploads going. Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe try not to get your hopes up on that. I just, like I said, I mean, even now, it's like, it's difficult to get all the schedule around, because like, I need to have a time where I have at least like 2 hours free, and you're like knowing that I'm not going to have any interruptions and stuff like that, and Okay, so Banana Tree 25 says, Theon here complaining about how late they got Curse of the Blood rubies here. Well, here in Europe, we still don't have a single legal Region 2 release. I know we have the same DVD code as Japan, but as far as I know, Toei produces the raw versions, no subs or dubs, and I don't think they deliver in Europe. Seriously, you two talking about how good some of the movies are, like BoJack, Wrath of the Dragon, or Path to Power, makes me jealous of those you folks that can actually get those movies legally. Well, spoiler alert, I kind of didn't watch it legally.
Yeah, I was about to say, like some of us, like, some of us don't, like, it's like America actually does luck out. Like, it's kind of weird, because I don't know if we luck out or not, because, like, yeah, like, we get, like, all the movies, and we got, like, pretty much everything, but then we have, like, Dragon Ball Z in, like, the worst fucking quality ever in any region, and it sucks. Like, we have the fucking orange bricks, and we have the fucking shitty Blu-rays. It's like, we can't get good Z.
I mean, actually, there's actually a happy ending to the story, though, because actually he did a update, like, 3 months later, where he's just saying they actually, in 2018, they actually get a legal release for the movies in Europe. So, that's going to happen. Shit. So they actually, well, okay, only in the UK, apparently, but, so I guess that's one good happy ending.
Yeah, so there you go, alright. Like, it's kind of funny that like, like, that 4 months later, he's just like, never mind, we got him now.
It's fun that
man.
like he get enough to come back and check. Here's a good question from Leon O'Brien. Says, do you guys feel like character popularities in the video games has or should have affect how they are written? I think it means Dragon Ball Fusion has really hyped up some forgotten characters. I mean, like, if you do it badly, obviously, it's just gonna feel like cheap fan service, and it's just gonna cheapen the actual character. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's the opposite way around with the way they did with Bardock, and that the Bardock became popular, so they made him do stuff in the video games, and then it just gone to play the Bardock is almost like a meme. It's just like Super Saiyan Bardock, and now we're just gonna get Time Breaker Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, no, that's when it gets really dumb and stuff. Like, I mean, I don't mind the video games being dumb as hell, because the video games are the video games. The video games can be as balls-to-the-wall stupid as they want to be. And honestly, like, even if they make, like, a balls-to-the-wall stupid OVA, that's fine. As long as it's not, like, the core franchise, like, oh, I actually have to take this seriously. This isn't just some dumb roller coaster ride with, like, of Dragon Ball anime. Like, when I start having to actually, like, pay attention to it and respect it, that's when I'm just like, yeah. But yeah, I just, like, as far as, like, with characters, like, if you have something to actually write about them, do it. Like, but don't do it because they're popular and you're like, well, we need to, like, do, like, Broly. It's just like, oh, well, Broly's really popular. Let's make, like, Broly but with boobs. And just have her quote all of Broly's lines from the fucking movie. And do all of his attacks. And just everything's a fucking reference for, like, the first 4 episodes she's in.
And then she suddenly, is not a reference. And then she's,
yeah, I know, and then suddenly she becomes a character.
I don't know, Kale was weird. Hopefully, if they ever do anything, if she ever shows up again, she'll be less weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully, like, they'll kind of develop her character into being a character and something I can understand. Someone also wrote, it was, oh god, I don't know how to fucking pronounce this. Laios Zafreyu. Yeah, no, I butchered the fuck out of that. I'm not even going to pretend I know how to pronounce that. Couldn't you have just done 2 movies? Referring to the fact that, like, the movies don't give us that much to talk about. I feel in some of the other movies we're going to have more to say because they're not going to be retreads of like arcs.
Yeah.
Because like the next movie is going to be, completely wholly original material, so we'll probably have way more to say about that. But yeah, the reason we don't do 2 movies at a time is because we're basically doing this in as close to release order as possible. So like once we get to like a 4 episode block, and it's just like, oh, like here is when like another movie came out. So then we'll, instead of doing like a set of episodes, we'll talk about that movie, and then we'll go back to doing the episodes. And then when it was like, oh, this is where a TV special came out.
It's essentially what Lance does with his, when Mr. Fusion does his Dragon Ball Dissection. And because it helps add a lot of context, because it means that we kind of get to sort of understand what Toei had been doing and what they were like recently working with around the time they were working with the movie. I think it helps us kind of understand, like, that kind of snapshot in time when they were producing it, and what things they would have wanted to do, what things they knew, what things they didn't know. It kind of like, that way, you get to stop, wondering things like, so in the Broly movie, if Gohan is Super Saiyan, then why doesn't he just beat Broly? Because he's probably got Super Saiyan 2 then, like that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah. Anything else?
No, I think we did a pretty decent amount of comments there anyway.
Yeah. I think we're good. Next time we definitely need to mark these in advance.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, it is. This was literally 6 months ago. I literally didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
I could use that excuse. I'm allowed to use excuses. I can make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Okay, I'm not perfect.
Heck, my life is a series of excuses. I can't argue.
Anyway, so yeah, next time, whenever the hell we do the Dragon Cast next, which is, I have no idea, but, so we will actually be finishing off the Pirate Cave section and moving on to Penguin Village.
Woo!
And that's going to be so interesting, because I don't think I have ever seen the Penguin Village episodes in the anime before.
Really?
I think I've only read the manga. And then like it makes sense in the manga because like Senbei is literally just being like, oh man, it's been so long since we've been in Jump again. And I'm like, see, that makes sense. But how do they do that in the anime? I don't know. So I'm going to be very curious to see what they do.
I mean, I would imagine they would just be like, oh man, like, it's back, it's good to be on TV again, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Because I don't remember how, because I don't remember how they handled that.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like I think that, because like that would make sense, because it's like Dr. Slump came out, like it was still Toei did Dr. Slump, then Dr. Slump ended, and then they did Dragon Ball.
It is just so wild to think like how long Toei was just cranking out Toriyama anime. You have
from Slump to the end of GT, right?
No, it's even further than that because it's Slump, Dragon Ball, DBZ, GT, then the Slump remake or reboot.
Oh yeah, of course, and that immediately happened after GT.
Yeah, so like they did just straight Toriyama anime for a long time,
very long time. Like that'd be like the rise and falls of people's career within that time,
right?
Pretty crazy.
Alrighty, hey, wait, we're almost hitting that 2-hour mark, so I think it's time to wrap things up.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't make it ridiculously long. Also, I have to edit this, so the quicker we get this done, the less work it is for me. So, okay, guys, we'll see you on the next Dragon Cast whenever that happens. It'll be on Halcyon's channel. Go subscribe to Halcyon. Subscribe to me if you haven't already, and you're somehow watching this video. Everybody have a good day. I'm having a good day. Everybody have a good day. Bye, guys.
Bye.